Okay, this is from London. This is we just got in earlier today after a long ordeal, and this is our room with everything strewn everywhere. There's CNN. Here's the paper. We've got ads on bunches and bunches of houses for good prices. And we just walked down to Gatwick Airport, walked back up, got some stuff to eat. There's some salt mackerel and cheese, and we went to McDonald's. But I guess the only news there is to report right now is that we made it through, and we made it through customs. And it was, through immigration. Customs wasn't so bad. Immigration was an absolute ordeal. We went through about 3 hours of interrogations. They were jumping down our throats every 2 seconds. They separate us, interview us, put it back together, interview us, lock us in these rooms. Well, not lock us in rooms, but put us in rooms and interview us. They were turning people back left and right. They didn't think they were going to turn us back, but nevertheless, they sure tried to act like they were. They were asked everything, went through even all my notebooks, including, where is that one at? This thing, which I was worried as hell about because I hadn't even looked at this thing. I just grabbed it on the way out of the house, and I haven't looked at it since 1984, and it has got weird stuff in it, and all kind of crazy shit. And so they pulled that out, and they were going to read everything we had. They went through all the portfolios. They kept saying what we had. We found out on the plane over. We're going to talk to the lawyer tomorrow. But if you come in as a business, you have to have X, God knows what kind of money, and you got to have what all did they say you had to have?
Just profit and loss statement, practically how many employees you had.
Yeah, how many you were going to employ, all this other
what
stuff.
What the salaries were, they were really interested in money, how much money.
Had we tried to come through and said that, instead of, we basically had to say, oh, we're on a tourist type trip, but at the same time we told we're prospecting, because they went through all the portfolios and the tapes, and were asking us about whether we go to work at software, and what they were really concerned with was, did we have any money to spend in Britain? Once they were convinced of that, there wasn't any problem. But initially they
asked you how much money you have and all that.
Yeah, and I said, oh, I got $1,000, and I pulled out. They probably got a laugh out of this, although they didn't laugh in our presence at anything. You found out this adapter on this laptop works at any voltage and at any hertz, so we don't have to worry about that. And I don't see where this thing is, but everything's a mess in here right now. But they asked, I said, oh yeah, well, I've got a couple $100 in pounds, and I've got $100 and some cash, and of course I got $1,000 traveler's check. So they said, well, let's see the traveler's check. So I said, okay, and I had put this wallet in my pocket when I left. I opened up my top drawer. I don't know where the thing is right now, but I had opened up my top drawer, and they give you these traveler's checks, these little thin billfold looking things, and there was something there that looked exactly like it, and I grabbed it. But the problem was, I got to customs. I said, okay, well, here's my traveler's checks, and I pulled out this thing. I opened it up. It's just an empty wallet with nothing in it, and I was like, oh shit. And so it looked like I didn't have much money at all. And they turned somebody else back who was just passing through. They turned him back for only having $300, and I think that's about all they had on me, and they just deported him back to LaGuardia, and he was on his way to wasn't even really coming into, well, he was coming into England, but he was on his way to Amsterdam and Bangkok, and we got put in a little holding tank type of thing with him. And, yeah, he's playing guitar and
sitting there in the immigration office playing the guitar. And
yeah.
he had like, you know, a permanent hair down to halfway down his back.
Yeah, and the other people that they were really the people that were in there with us. We understood why they we wouldn't have probably let them in the country either. They were
all Slim. There's this guy. He flew over on the same flight. Well, both of those guys that were in there flew over on the same flight with us. This one guy was like half crazy. He was like, you know, weighed about 120 pounds. He's about 6'4", and he was just talking to himself and
reading a Bible and laughing hysterically.
Yeah, he had problems. And, he was trying to like go to college or something in England, and apparently he'd gotten some degree in religion or some. I don't know what it was. Religion/psychology. Yeah, he's trying. No, he's going for a psychology degree, and he'd already gotten some degree in religion or something. And so he was still there once we left. They still had him. They were going to bring a psychologist in to evaluate him because I think he was like a little bit too crazy. They didn't want to let him in.
Wasn't in his favor. Yeah. But then we got put in there, and these people were sitting in there with us, and when they put us in this one room, it was obvious they had microphones, and all it was obvious that they had the whole place bugged, and they were watching and listening, but they weren't, because they were separating. They separated Greg and me, and they said, and I went in. They took down 4 pages of notes. They had 2 or 3 people interview each one of us. Took down 4 pages of notes, and kept asking all these questions, and were just, I mean, being otherwise with me, be real sarcastic and everything I'd say. And so they said, well, we're going to interview your friend, and is he going to say the same thing you did? And I said, yeah. And so they let me go back out, and then when they let me go back out of this room, I noticed microphone stuff up there, and then so I just they didn't take Greg out of the room or anything. They just let us sit right at the same table and everything and talk and all that. So it was obvious from that we were being observed from another room. Well, these other people that were in the room, who were, and about all of them seemed to have a screw loose, and they evidently, the idea never occurred to them. They were talking about, oh yeah, when they had these, one girl was talking about her coke habit and all this other crazy stuff, and obviously these people were watching. Well, I was just saying into, where they could hear. I was talking to Greg like I didn't think there was a microphone, like the idea hadn't occurred to me, but I was saying stuff like, oh, we got nothing to worry about, just tell them what we're doing, blah, 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 and all this. And so then they never called Greg out of the room. They just came in and they said, okay, you can go in the country. But the thing is, we're basically here as tourists right now, but we're going to get that changed. It's lucky that we got the address of this judge and barrister and all, and probably the worst thing that happened, it was what, $79 round trip flight to Amsterdam. We can fly over to Amsterdam. 79 pounds. And we can fly over to Amsterdam for a day or so, get reclassified, and if we were to get the worst that we'd have to do would be get a sponsor on this end and come back in, which could be an agent, club owner, or whatever. But it's just, we expect to run into a few little things. It would have been a bad thing, though, had we not been able to talk fast enough for 3 hours, and I mean dead tired, too. We went to ordeal on all the flights. And had we not been able to talk fast enough to convince them to let us in, they would have just shipped us right back probably to LaGuardia Airport. And although we didn't think that was going to happen, there still seemed the way they seemed to like to act like it did. It was
insulting to us.
Oh yeah, real insulting and everything.
They try to make a fool out of you the whole time, and ask you stuff, and everything you said they try to make it say like, maybe make it into, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you be doing that? And,
yeah, it made sense too. They were just assholes.
Try to turn around everything you say and make you, just make you nervous. And
they went through everything we had and took all my notebooks and all the portfolios and tapes. I told him, I said, well, we're looking for business. We're going to be giving these to club owners and agents and stuff like that, and we're prospecting, and the same thing. We're trying to keep emphasizing software because we thought, well, maybe they might think that's a bit more respectable or whatever, but we're doing all this, and yeah, if some business, if whatever business comes along, we'll definitely take it, but we're going to talk to a judge, he's a judge, a barrister, solicitor, whatever, tomorrow, and we're going to make sure that it's all done legally and all that. So finally they gave in after 3 hours of bullshit and let us on in. So we finally figured out. I was going to try to call, make sure we had reservations at the Ramada, and so I got on, and I kept trying to call from this phone. Nothing would work. I couldn't get anything, and then went and asked this girl how come this phone wouldn't work, and if she knew how was I supposed to use the phone. She said, oh, it was broken. I wasted all kind of time trying to call on the damn thing. Watching CNN, it's not rolling like this. It's the same thing. But so when she said, oh, well, that phone, if the light's out, the phone's broken. So after I found that out, okay, called up and found out that we did have reservations. So we're at the Ramada, which is near Gatwick, and in fact, it's within walking distance. We just walked back and forth. Had to walk, we had a shortcut. We took a shortcut sort of through this sort of swampy bog, a little part of it, but hotels is nice and all. We got a bit of sleep this afternoon because we were dead tired. It was our flight. We didn't go direct from Detroit to London. We had to stop in Boston, and there was it was a lot of layovers, a lot of crap involved, and
it was a long plane trip.
Long plane flight.
That flight from Boston to Gatwick that was a long flight.
Yeah.
They showed movies. They gave us dinner. Drinks. We were drinking a bunch of Bailey's Irish cream, and then they had breakfast. They had like a banana and some yogurt and a Danish or something. It wasn't too bad. I mean, they tried to make it as nice as it could be, but it was a long flight. About, what, 6 hours or something, I guess?
It seemed like more than that.
Yeah, it was like 7 or something.
But
the time changed. Got over over the Atlantic.
But then the main ordeal was after all that, and I hadn't slept the whole night before or anything either, having to go through all this intensive interrogation and yanked out of line. Of course, it seemed like everybody liked that. Seemed like the main criteria to me was if somebody looked like, if they looked like I look, they got yanked out.
Well, it was if they weren't on some tour and you're staying for long. Well, we were talking about staying for 90 days, and we didn't have any specific plans, and they
not that we wanted to discuss with them.
Yeah, and they were just, they want to make sure you got enough money to finance the trip, and that's the main thing. Although they didn't just come right out and ask that.
But they acted like we had some sort of a big cock and bull story made up.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a lot of cash on us or anything. But it was a hell of an ordeal. And they tried to they wanted to put the fear of God. After they got through, it was okay, and then we saw the customs woman again going through, and she said, "Oh, welcome to the country," and all this other stuff. But then some of the immigration people were just otherwise. But the main thing was when they put you in this room, and it was obvious they were bugging everything you did, and all these other people in the room were just talking about their coke habits and all this other stuff, talking about how they only had this much money. They were, talking all kind of shit.
And that crazy guy over there reading the Bible,
laughing.
And talking to himself and making all these, jokes and stuff. There was some like Iranian-looking guy in there, or Middle Eastern guy, and he
was crying.
He was crying. He was young, man. The guy looked like he was about 16 years old. And that crazy guy asked him if he worked at 7-Eleven, and he just started laughing.
And that guy was crying.
The guy, tears welled up in his eyes.
And how about the other guy they were sitting back that was evidently going to hitchhike around the world or something?
Yeah.
But they sit him back. He had the certificates claiming he was a minister from the Church of Universal Life, and he said something about it. That guy who was Mr. Bible Hilarity, he perked right up when he heard that. He thought it might be a fight or something in there. But
yeah, he looked over like he was going to say something, that crazy guy, but he never did.
and then what they kept asking him how long he was in the institution.
Yeah, he'd gotten in some fight with somebody. They put him in an institution, and he kept saying, "It wasn't an institution, you know. It was, I guess it was like jail or something."
Yeah, I think it
either
was.
one of them any better than the other,
But we got through. Everything's cool. The best thing is that we have got a listing of houses available in London, close to where we were talking about, and all in London, that are, I don't know, what, with three, 4-bedroom houses. We're going for what, 150 pounds a week, 175 pounds a week. But that's with all. That's a lot of them furnished, washer, dryer, refrigerator, freezer, gas, central heating. I mean, we got a ton of houses to choose from. We're going to get on that first thing tomorrow. And because we had to get some sleep today, they just basically went over to Gatwick and got all kind of information. We got piles of stuff on everything.
It's 3 in the morning right now.
Yeah.
It's actually like 3:30.
Yeah,
So it's probably about 10:30 there.
Yeah, we were talking about calling, but I think they cut this line off. You can call collect through this 800 thing, not get a hotel charge, but we can't even dial out. I can't even get a line out because it's evidently they cut the phones off at some time during the night. You want to hold this thing? I need to get it towed upstairs. We're actually going to hold this here. So we'll just send regular videotapes. I was looking for that little wallet. You didn't see that little wallet around there.
Oh, no.
But it was something when I got up there. This is right during the interview. And obviously they did, my type, I always get pulled out of line. And then I said, oh yeah, I got $1,000 of traveler's checks. And I reach in my pocket, pull it out, open up this thing, and have an empty wallet. And I said, oh God, I left it at home. And but luckily, my other wallet, I had the receipts for all of them, so I didn't look like a total liar. And I had some pounds and some cash.
Yeah, they were interested in how much money you had. That was
Yeah,
the big thing.
how much money you had. But by the time I understand, Rover and Dave, y'all coming over on the 29th, is what I heard. Y'all won't have to go through the same shit we went through. Because we had all kind of stuff on us, and plus we didn't have any address we were going to or anything other than we were going to Ramada for 2 days. So they didn't think much of that. And, it was a damn ordeal. We got through. We don't know how close we came not getting in. I mean, they put us through the business, and then they said, oh yeah, okay. They came out there and we could go on in. But they sure put us through all kind of shit and made us think that we weren't going to get in before. We had to do some fast talking. We had to do some fast talking.
Just make sure that your story and both your stories are the same story.
Yeah.
Because if you say you're together, then they use that to their advantage. They go for the
Oh yeah, they sat
corroboration.
down there and she had a pad like this and was interviewing me and would write down
everything.
Q and ask her a question. Then she'd write down A and write down every word I said. Was being real sarcastic and snotty and trying to break it. I just, basically the story told me, yeah, we're looking to set up jobs and bookings and all to play. And we're also looking, because we're pushing the software thing with them at immigration and say, oh yeah, we're going to turn some money and collect some taxes on them. We're also looking we're looking to make money any way we can, but what we brought, since they'd already gone through all our tapes, portfolios and all that, what we brought, we're going to, we're taking these to agents, club owners, and all that. We're going to try to set
contacts.
up. Yeah, make contacts, set up jobs, and we're going to see the lawyer in the morning and make everything legal. And so after a while, they okay, let us on in. They had no problem with that. But they try to scare the hell out of you. They do sort of scare the hell out of you.
They
They try to put the fear of God in you, is what they do.
Well, it makes you nervous.
And they're not nice. They won't crack a smile. They won't do nothing. They're on your ass, and that's evidently what they're paid to do. A couple of them, it's like, one of them we rode up and I'd been, I was trying to sort of joke around. I could get them to laugh, crack a smile every now and then. I was working them psychologically, and as soon as we got in the elevators, I think they're monitored too. As soon as we got in the elevator and the door closed, One was said to Greg says, "Oh, so you play in the band too, and all this, and was friendly and all that." Once it got behind that closed elevator door, where I don't think there were any cameras or microphones, so that they are not supposed to socialize, fraternize, whatever with these people. Their job is to give you the damn business, and that's what they do. And they gave us the damn business, but they couldn't get any inconsistencies in our stories. And we had explanations for everything. Thank God I didn't try to bring anything through customs. We were on the level with them, and they finally let us in. But they sure acted like they weren't going to. And then if they let us in like that, they're pretty nice about it.
Well, they held us for 3 hours. I mean, they were...
and questioning too, and I mean intensive questioning, and just trying to trip you up on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing was, did you have money? Were you going to spend money in Britain? That was it. That was what they were really after. They want to know if you're going to spend money in Britain. And
they wondered what you were going to do too, what you were going to be doing, because
they yanked us out because we were coming in for 90 days, but we got stamped for 6 months.
Yeah.
And so
that's the maximum you can stay.
Yeah, we're legal for 6 months, and
without special
paying taxes, I guess.
Yeah.
But
or going to school or something.
We'll make another copy of the video, or we'll make another video for parents. We don't really want them to see this one and know that we had to go through all that shit and all that. And Greg talked. No, you didn't talk to your parents today, did you?
No.
Yeah, I just tried to call mine, but like I say, I think they shut down the switchboard or something. You can't get out.
Oh, look at this thing on TV. It's the instant massage.
Shiatsu or something.
Yeah, probably can't see it because of the sink.
Yeah, they had a real big gay pride thing on this one channel. It was unbelievable. You've never seen anything like it in the United States. Big gay pride festival. A lot of gays over here, but over here, generally the people are cooler and friendlier, I mean, you always run into exceptions, but basically we got all the stuff through. Everything made it here all right. We're going to go see the lawyer. We're going to set up things legally. Not that we're illegal now or anything, but we're going to make sure everything's taken care of that's supposed to be taken care of. And we're going to get somebody over here. We'll probably have this stuff. We'll find out the next day or two. We just had to get in today and get a bit of sleep and go out and get some information. But we'll probably have the stuff. We'll have somebody here as a friend or a cohort or something that's going to help us around London. We'll find somebody like that. Lots of ads for music, musicians. We found out another thing was that we're going through a lot of these ads. There are lots of guitar ads. There's only a couple Gibsons in there.
Here's the stuff that we bought.
Yeah, this one right here.
Time out. I think we got a time out.
This one, Luke, right here. It's like, I'll just read one ad on a house.
We got this fishing thing.
Oh, yeah, tabloid.
It's like a tabloid thing.
Somebody got stabbed while they were fishing. One guy got run out off his position as the English fishing head of fishing association, and all this scandals in fishing going on over here.
And all the fish look like carp. I mean, they got pike. They got
pike and
brim, but the brim looked like some variation of carp. They got catfish too.
But like here's we found out that on some of these, like here's a Gibson. That's these Gibsons. Gibson Les Paul, 40th anniversary with case, 950 pounds. That's about $1,500. They seem to be running right in that range. There's not a big markup on that. Of course, you don't see any flying bees. Although I heard today, I talked to Chris just a little bit ago, and Earl evidently had found an original flying bee, 59, been owned by a black man, and the Les Paul 72 gold pickup black Les Paul. He wanted $500 for both of them. He obviously doesn't know what he's got with the 59B, because that's worth $5,000 in the U.S. God knows what it's worth over here. It was worth when I was in college. Those things were worth $3,500, $4,000 a piece. He wanted $500 for it. But we're going to have everything probably shipped. We'll know a lot more after Probably tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. We got one more night in the hotel. This will be our first night. We got one night after that. We'll be out beating the bushes tomorrow. Now we've got a lot of information, a lot of stuff. Best thing, looks like house. We're gonna be able to get a nice house, no problem, in London, with good furnishings and all that. And we'll be able to get it for probably 175 or 50. Well, it's under $1,000, just under $1,000. And there's they got a lot of musician stuff in here, and I'll just read you like hell, there's page after page of houses. There's just column after column of houses that rent for less than where is house for rent for less than 200. This is the one. Lots of stuff. There's just a bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah, this one section is like houses for rent for less than £200 a week.
Here we go. Flats. We were looking at houses. Here's one, Soho, Convent Garden, Bloomsbury, selection of flats to rent from £150 a week. Long and short lets. Here's some typical houses. One that some that we looked at, and I mean not looked at, but we looked at the ad. Obviously we hadn't been here, but a number of hours. But we've got like there's just bunches of them. Those particular ones. What was that? There was several of them. I think they were up here.
There was this one whole section that said houses for rent for less than 200.
Yeah. There's just page after page after page of them. These are the flats. Here we go. Houses. Oh no, these are houses. People want to share houses. Where the hell were the houses? There's a big section of them. Page. Bicycles, garaging.
Mine before that.
Yeah. Caravans, I don't know. Here's trailers. Seemed like it was near trailers.
Yeah, it was.
So there's a lot of musician stuff in here too. Flats. Maybe the thing came out or something. Because I remember it said houses for rent for that section of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just turn it off for a second. Let me see if I can find where these things are. Yeah, just turn it off. Okay, Greg's looking over there. He was reading. This is on sale all over the place. NFA, Money Man. This is the Angling Times. It's this big paper with all this fishing stuff, and it says, "Cough up that $70,000 debt." NRA calls in collectors. Riverbank attack on young anglers. Somebody was fishing and got stabbed somewhere in the country. NFA, Money Man resigns. It says, yeah, back on now.
Here's one.
Where were those? What were some of those houses that you had?
Well, here's one. It's like 3-bedroom, fully furnished house, gas, central heat, phone, fridge, freezer, double glazing, washing machine, recently modernized and decorated throughout. Like 140 pounds per week.
140 pounds. There's a bunch of houses. There's a
That's
bunch of
one.
houses.
There was one that was.
A lot of them in London too. We've been
Here's this
checking them
one.
out on the map.
Here's this one: spacious 3-bedroom house close to station, large living room, bathroom with shower. Well, I mean, let's hope bathroom's got a shower. Well-equipped kitchen, fridge, freezer, washing machine, telephone line, pleasant garden, good decor. 160 pounds per week.
Yeah, there's just one after another. There's pages of these things. You know, close to the subway. There's just all kind of them. We're going to check it out. It's not, you know, the Times has just basically got high dollar or something in it. I mean, this thing is just full of houses. These are separate houses. I mean, they've also got flats and stuff in them too.
Here's a 3-bedroom house, new fitted kitchen, washer, gas central heating, 80-foot garden, must be seen, 145 pounds a week. It is just, that's
The tip of the iceberg. There's just tons of them in there. We shouldn't have any problem in the house. The only disappointment I've seen so far is like, well, Gibson guitars, they sell for high prices, but according to that thing, not as high as that. Although there's no V's or no like that collector's item or anything, but there are tons of houses and tons of other stuff. That's a great paper right there. I mean, it's just got all kind of ads. But I don't know if you saw it before. Here's all the scandal going on in fishing. Here's this: the money man resigns, and it says, "System has beaten me," says Burdett. National Federation of Anglers, money man Malcolm Burdett has sensationally quit in the wake of World Championships after claiming we were amateurs on a professional stage. Now, here's the riverbank attack on a young angler. He suffered knife wounds as he tried to beat off his attackers. He was fishing on the river, on the river Kennet at Reading at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. I guess he's not this guy, not that little kid. This is somebody else. And here's exclusive interviews on the resignation of this money nut. The guy didn't do anything wrong. He just got tired of the job. Here's fishing songs. They have these fishing songs. Here's this fishing rap song in here that evidently is sweeping the country in Britain. And I won't read it. There's about 50 verses to it, and you can order it. It's fishing rap songs. So this is big paper about all what's going on in fishing here. Catfish. Here, NFA, National Federation of Anglers, needs a complete clear out. The governing body, and here's this guy that resigned right here. I can't focus it. I don't have macro. Here goes, records go crashing. 10 2-pound perch are wonder of Willstone. But one of the best ones in here was that, remember that one where somebody had caught a 2-ounce fish? This is big news.
Catfish.
Somebody caught a 2-ounce catfish or something. Here's get back in the fast lane right here with this guy. He's raising hell fishing. Here's one. This isn't a 2-ounce fish, but this is another one in there. They're showing. It says not all barbells have to be 10-pounders to be beautiful. And here's obviously one the size of this guy's little finger. I don't even know how you can catch one that size. Here's some. They really gotta. Here's boilies. Who needs them? I'll just read you the first verse. Here, just hold this for a second. I'll read you the first verse of this fishing rap song that's evidently sweeping the country. And this thing, it's all over the place. You go anywhere. It says, come on whip fishing with the rhythm of a flick tip. Bring a friend and a packet of biscuits. Bring your ground bait. Bring your casters, 'cause I'm the man. King Maggot, the whip fishing master, the blaster, the master caster. Compared to me, there's nobody faster. Ships me pole out 4 meters to hand. That's why you're in the water and I'm on the land. Coming at you with my 40-foot pole, I bring a lesson to the young and old. I'm no super fly guy. I'm the maggot ragamuffin. Snoop Maggie Maggot gonna knock out your stuffing. whip fishing, that's what I do. Double world champion, I'm telling you. Coming at you, going to hit you like a thunderbolt. Ground bait, casters, maggots in your catapult. Chorus. Oh lordy, maggots in your catapult. Oh lordy, hup hup away. And then there's about 3 more verses. Obviously, it's an epic of a song. Here's free ground bait sponge. I mean, you would not believe. You wouldn't believe what kind of scandal there is in fishing in Britain. It's a big thing, evidently. I wish I knew where that thing was about somebody catching a 2-ounce fish. It said,
That's near the beginning of it.
yeah. Was it on a picture?
No, it said something about catfish.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here it is. This guy's holding, he caught one of these, he caught this cracking 2-pound, 1-ounce, 8DR, whatever that is, roach. And I've seen that on some fishing shows, but then it says, the crumping silver bar was part of a 20-pound haul taken on feeder and red maggot. Last season, Jeff hit the headlines when he set a new British black bullhead catfish record with a 2-ounce fish taken at Billercay's Lake Meadows. So there's some national record fish that was 2 ounces, or else maybe it's a type. I hope it's a typo that it's saying 2 ounces instead of 2 pounds. But anyway, we're going to look through these houses, try to pin down some, go through the maps, bought some more atlases and bunches, so we got all kind of information to go through, the new timeout, melody makers, all kind of papers here, music papers and all that. So we will we'll probably send this tape day after tomorrow. We're going to get out tomorrow, beat the bushes, find out about what the call on houses, probably call the judge, just a lot of general stuff to check out, get more information on, go into London, check out clubs, talk to your club owners, check on car rentals, stuff like that. It's not too bad driving out here. I wouldn't drive in London, but out here it'd be all right. We're Gatwick's about 40 minutes away from London by train, so I guess it's probably about 25 miles or something. But we're going to go into London tomorrow, and these houses that we're talking about are in London. We've already looked up a number of them on the map already, and they're real good locations. One of the ones that I looked up on the map, like that's Streatham and whatever, there's a couple of those. So we'll either ship this tape out tomorrow, as we may add more to it tomorrow night and ship it out, but probably, we'll give you a call, and then we'll set this tape like one day or one day. We also want to try the modem thing before too long. We'll try to check out these modems.